Workers who are exposed to extreme cold or work in cold environments may be at risk of cold stress. These workers include butchers, fishermen, divers, refrigerator repairmen, all outdoor workers during winter. Prolonged exposure to freezing or cold temperatures may cause serious health problems, some of which are local, as frostbite and immersion foot, and others are systemic, as hypothermia. When the body is exposed to freezing temperature, intense vasoconstriction occurs at first to prevent heat loss from the body, leading to decreased blood flow, followed by strong painful vasodilatation. It most often affects the nose, ears, cheek, chin, fingers, or toes. Symptoms of frostbite include reduced blood flow to hands and feet. Fingers or toes can freeze. Numbness, tingling or stinging, aching, bluish or pale, waxy skin. Frostbite can permanently damage blood tissues, and severe cases can lead to amputation. The risk of frostbite is increased in workers with poor blood circulation and among workers who are not dressed properly. Immersion foot, also called trench foot, is an injury of the feet resulting from prolonged exposure to wet and cold conditions. Injury occurs because wet feet lose heat 25 times faster than dry feet, leading to peripheral vascular neuropathy and tissue ischemia due to reflex vasoconstriction of peripheral blood vessels. This condition is presented by reddening of the skin, numbness, tingling pain, leg cramps, swelling, blisters or ulcers, bleeding under the skin, and may end up with gangrene, in which the foot may turn dark purple, blue, or gray. In hypothermia, core temperature less than 35 Celsius degrees causes pale, cold skin, sluggish reflexes, stiffness, which turns into flaccidity with temperature less than 28 Celsius degrees, shallow respiration, and arrhythmia. When exposed to cold temperature, our body begins to lose heat faster than it can be produced. Prolonged exposure to cold will eventually use up our body's stored energy. The result is hypothermia, or abnormally low blood temperature less than 35 Celsius degrees. A body temperature that is too low affects the brain, making the victim unable to think clearly or move well. This makes hypothermia particularly dangerous because a person may not know it is happening and will not be able to do anything about it. Symptoms of hypothermia can vary depending on how long you have been exposed to the cold temperature. Early signs include shivering, fatigue, loss of coordination, confusion, and disorientation. Late, shivering stops, skin becomes blue, pupils are dilated, pulse and breathing are slowed, loss of consciousness may also occur. For first aid management of a patient with cold-related illness, you should do the following. Remove the worker from the cold environment and get him into a warm room as soon as possible. Remove any wet clothing if present. If the feet or toes are affected, the worker should not walk on them, as this will increase the damage. Immerse the affected area into warm and not hot water, because the temperature should be comfortable to the touch for unaffected parts of the body. Or use a warm water-filled blankets. This will raise the body temperature with general circulation support. Warm the affected area using body heat. For example, the heat of an armpit can be used to warm frostbitten fingers. You can also use dry layers of blankets or sheets to warm the body. Warm beverages may help increase the body temperature, but do not give alcoholic beverages. The National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health puts some recommendations for employers as well as for workers to avoid cold stress. Employers should take the following steps to protect workers from cold stress. They should schedule cold jobs for the warmer part of the day and reduce the physical demands of workers. They should also provide warm liquids to workers and provide warm areas to use during break periods. Monitoring of workers who are at risk of cold stress is also essential, in addition to providing cold stress training. Regarding workers, they should avoid exposure to extremely cold temperature whenever possible. When cold environment or temperature cannot be avoided, they should follow these recommendations to protect themselves from cold stress. First, they should wear appropriate clothing and make sure to protect the ear, face, hands, and feet in extremely cold weather. Boots should be waterproof and insulated. They should also wear a hat. It will keep their whole body warmer, as hats reduce the amount of body heat that escapes from your head. They should also move into warm locations during work breaks and limit the amount of time outside on extremely cold days.